Well, hi there, racing fans, and welcome to another edition of Winning Ways, where we're going to be chatting to Michael Holmes in York Hall. For those of you that don't know Sherlock, as you like to call him.
Yeah.
Sherlock, yeah.
Yeah, he's been around for a long, long time. You must quiz him because he's been involved since the days of Chris Smith, right now to Bloodstock South Africa. And he's always had his annual sale, so he's involved too with Marquis on July Day. He's actively involved in the industry.
Oh, he's been involved forever, and he loves the sport, Michael.
Yeah, absolutely. Good guy.
Yeah, paddler of note.
Yeah, keep his weight down.
Yeah, keep his weight down. Okay, well, but the thing is that I can see you looking very happy. 4-0.
Yeah,
Tottenham.
Second time we've given Stoke 4.
Yeah.
You know, I was a little disappointed with the Plastic Cup final because they've got to bring television replays back into sport. Imagine cricket. Cricket brought it in, rugby brought it in, soccer won't. You know, the first goal for Southampton was completely legit.
Changed the whole face of the game, didn't it?
Imagine cricket went back to no umpires and no appeals or whatever. And the ref, all the umpire to make all the decisions. There'd be an outcry. We've moved on. You've got to move on. Football has to move on. It's getting 1 billion people watch that game.
But I think, and I think I mentioned this to you before, there's a problem as far as the offside rule is concerned, because they now changed the rule, I think, this season, that if the player doesn't interfere with the play and he's offsides, they don't call the offsides. Now, I believe that players can only interfere because goalkeepers, who are the last line of defence, will see someone moving that's not onside,
take it out, but he's got to keep his eye on the ball. He might glance to the guys on offside. I get your point.
But it can put him off.
It could, and especially in the small box or whatever. But the rules are that you don't have to worry about that unless you cross him or run in front of him, and that happens. But that goal, you saw it, James.
It was a great goal.
Yeah, it was a great goal, and they were way on top.
Yeah. And that would have really put those.
It would have changed it. Man United might have upped a gear and become better. You know, they.
Ibrahimovic's free kick was some type of goal.
Shocking goalkeeping. Shocking. No, the fishermen and goals for them. He's just big.
He's got the wall there, okay, and he expects a wall to do their job.
He was away from the he didn't put it next to the post, Ibrahimovic. Ibrahimovic, I mean. He stuck it that far from the post. It still went in. The keeper was caught out. But the second goal was well placed, good football. But the better side didn't lift the trophy, unfortunately. They were the better side, the other guys. Tactically.
What do you call it, the plastic trophy?
Yeah, plastic? Jeez, milk trophy, whatever they call it. Overseas it's called the plastic trophy. Everyone plays their B teams.
Is that so?
Yeah, it qualifies you for one thing, for going to play in Europa. All the Man United fans will be throwing their toys at the cot, saying, how can Lafferty say that? But that's what it is. That's what it is. Try win the league, try get in the Champions League or win the FA Cup.
What interested me was that Ibrahimovic had been linked to Arsenal for a number of years, okay, before this, and we were always told that he was too old. Yeah. I think that he makes a team. He's he's got his own private trainers. He's a teetotaler. He's a superb professional. Mick Shannon calls him the big lump up front. But he's a great player. He just keeps scoring goals, and a wonderful purchase. You know, people go, Man United, fantastic, great luck. I've said all along they're a good side, but I'd like to have spent that type of money. They bought the most expensive player in their history for 80-odd million for Pogba. They bought Mkhitaryan. They bought this guy. You know, give that money to Leicester. Give that money to Watford. The big news, I'm glad you brought up Leicester, was that's got to be the biggest disgrace in sport that they fired.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
You know?
The greatest manager in the history of the game.
In the history of Leicester, they'll never ever get a player like that. Never ever get
They never had those results in their lives. No. And I was good to see Jose Mourinho come out with a shirt, CR in it, and every manager stood up and said, it's wrong. Yeah. And there were some people who say, well, they want to stay up, but hey, what they've won.
Give them a chance
Give them a chance. Give them 4 or 5 more games. Give them a chance.
What he did to get to the last 16 in Europe was something unbelievable.
That's right.
Anyway, so I think he's a genius, Claudio. I love him, and I can tell you most of the soccer fans in the world will now be pulling against Leicester. So I feel sorry for Mark Dixon and the Leicester team because we're all pulling against you now. We love Leicester, we love Ranieri, and
bad call.
Disgrace. Okay, as far as the cricket's concerned,
we're a good one-day side.
Yeah, and what about the rugby?
A good start. You know, Sharks weren't too bad. I thought they played well. I thought the Stormers played well. I thought the Blue Bulls were a bit lost. But the Lions, I thought they should have lost. You know, he didn't have his, Fred Zailing didn't have his shooting boots on. I think they should have won Free State. They're good at home, Free State.
Well, they are good at home, and they're going to be very hard to beat at home. I think that Franco Smith's doing a good job with them, but I do like the
Kiwi sides,
and I think the
Kiwi sides are great. They pass the ball around like it's servants.
Yeah, but when you watch the Six Nations as well, it's much slower, isn't it? It's not
you know, I just think England are getting more and more vulnerable. Okay, Italy changed the tactics. There's been an outcry by the manager. You can't use these rules now. But the bottom line is Italy found a gap. They went and spoke to the ref before the game, the day before, and said, these are the tactics we're going to employ. And then he said, it's not rugby. The English manager said, it's not rugby. And bottom line is it should have been 17 all with 15 minutes to play.
Yeah.
You know, how good are England? I think they've got two hard ones. They play Scotland at home. Scotland are a team that haven't beaten them for years and years and years. And then Ireland away. Phew, big one.
Yeah, that's going to be the big one.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's move on and look at racing, because we've given you now all the sport to follow. Let's go and have a look at our 3 to follow. Well, Kenilworth on Wednesday, Vaughan Marshall's stepping out a slew of 2-year-olds that can run like anything. And you know that he's got them pretty tuned. And this filly, they're backed. Believe This Beauty. She's a Captain L. And we think that she'll probably improve a lot from this run. She looked like she's very green.
Yeah, let's go and have a look at her. Here she is. Yeah, I think it runs in Tina Rowe colours. Nice to see her investing in this part of the world with a whole bunch of friends. And it looks a very nice horse. It gets into speed into the race early. The eventual winner is called Nana Anna for Paul Reeves, and that is in the yellow, showing speed all the time. The runner-up is the horse we picked, Believe This Beauty's up there. Disco Warrior is showing pace, but it soon becomes evident that it's a 2-horse race.
Yeah, absolutely. In fact, Nana Anna goes on and wins quite comfortably. She's had a couple of runs under her belt. She's a daughter of What a Winter, I think, bred by her owner, Mr. Strook, and really the second horse will improve a lot. She looked like she's now asked for an effort and really didn't know what to do.
Yeah, she's running away from the favourite, and the rider's given her a good riding, but he's sticking her left hand. It's the Captain L, they all run like hell.
Yeah.
And just here, it just hasn't got enough to go on with it, you know.
Well, yeah, she's certainly going to come on quite a lot from this run, and we think that as a juvenile, she should be worth following next time she runs. As you know, the Captain L's can run, and that was a good run. We're going to move on to...
Sticking with Captain L's. Huh? Sticking with Captain L's, we move on.
Yeah, we move on, sticking with the Captain L's, and this is a beautifully bred filly. We go to Kenilworth 25th. And this looked like a really hot field. Joey Ramsden's filly we'd picked up as one of 3 to follow. We said that she would improve markedly from her first run, which she did. We picked up the Bass filly that ran second, the Rebel King, and this filly ran third, and I think she ran a cracking good race. Let's go and have a look at Estimal.
Yeah, the talk was very strong in this race for the front 3 horses, and Maiden Hollywood absolutely hacks up, shows speed from the jump, and is let down to win very comfortably. The grey horse, which is the Rebel Queen Moira, runs a very good race, but the debutante, you'll see it 3 off the right. It's said to be competitive and runs a very good race for its debut run, and it's going to be a horse that you have to follow. But I thought the winner, Maiden Hollywood, showed great ability. But I like the debut, James. It was good a debut.
Yeah, she came from quite a long way behind them. Now she's behind the horse on the inside in the Tabra colours.
Yes.
The red, white and blue. And the other 2 are up near the front, the grey filly, and the other filly is in front in the middle of the track with Anton Marcus on it.
Yeah, Maiden Hollywood.
So Maiden Hollywood, she's a Karari, and obviously beautifully bred as well. And then you see Estimal, the Captain L out of the Fort Wood mare, go up the inside. She's got big action, this filly. She didn't really know what it was all about. Richard Ferree gets after her here. And she does run on well at the end. Queen Moira ran a good race, and we think that this filly will improve a lot. She's a big backward type filly. We'll look for big improvement from her.
Yeah, Maiden Hollywood absolutely doddles it. When you think there's a length between that and the grey at the 350 mark, there's about 7 between them at the line. So this winner's going places, but I agree with you, this debutante's going to win soon.
Okay, well, we picked up another debutante on Sunday at Scottsville, and it's your filly, Simply Scrumptious. Lovely name.
That's Eric Loudon.
Yeah, Eric Loudon is scrumptious, okay?
Every drink he calls Simply Scrumptious. So he had to have a horse named after. Runs in his colours. I'm his partner in the horse. And just before we talk about this horse, James, interesting, you saved us on this horse because we decided to breed from the mare, Superlicious. She only had 6 runs. She was very good. She won 2. She got injured. So Eric buys horses that are born on his birthday. He bought Kier Destiny.
Yeah.
Boom, champion. Then he went out and he bought a horse called Hot Love by Aristes. I said, you can't buy an Aristes. 1-6. Then he went and bought this by Deep Sleep. Can you remember this? The mother, Superlicious, by Deep Sleep. She could run like hell. So we decided to have fun. And John Costa came to party and has helped us. We always left it down at Cloverplay, and every year it goes to another stallion. And this was the first one. And John said, small, like the mother. And we stuck it on the farm sale. And thank goodness you were down there. There wasn't a bid.
Yeah.
You said, I'll buy it back for a laugh. So James put a bid in for us, $5,000. We got this horse back.
Yeah.
And she
anyone else could have bought it at the farm sale, but no one did. So
Yeah.
you got it back, and it became simply scrumptious. So that's a great story. Let's go and watch it.
Yeah, here she's down the inside. She comes out a little slowly. She's drawn next to the favourite. The favourite is the runner-up, which is drawn right alongside her, and that is Only to Win. And she's in behind that. Your eventual winner is 2 off the right, a lovely filly too. This is called Neptune's Reign. It's from the Duncan Howell stable, but the favourite of the noseband is going quite quickly. But the fastest horse is the blinkered horse of the red blinkered horse called Innocently Naughty of Com Naidu, who goes very quickly.
Yeah.
Eric Loudon Silks of the Pink Silks.
Yeah, you see the winner is Duncan Howell's filly. Now this filly looked like a cracking filly,
Yeah,
in
lovely
the,
filly.
in the parade ring. Really, she was no interest to her in the betting, but she did look like the business in the parade ring. And Mike de Kock's VAR filly now goes for home in the yellow silks, right in towards the right hand side of your picture, and then you'll see the horse in the McLean colours come on the outside, and yours is now all over the place behind them and gets sort of interfered with by the...
He had to change his stick.
Yeah,
Diego was way too late to change his stick, but she plugs on beautifully for a 6 furlong debutante. You know what's very interesting here, James, and I believe could be a South African record, or even a bigger record. Roy Moodley had 4 runners.
Yeah.
He owned, he bred 4 different trainers, all by the same stallion.
Yeah, and there were consecutive numbers in the race card.
That's right. So I've never seen that happen before, where a guy's had 4 horses with 4 trainers, all owned by him, all bred by him.
The funny thing is that they ran next door to each other in the race. So we don't know if that's an omen. But anyway, we're going to take a break now, so we'll be back.
Begins here, and they are racing away, and it's a good even start. First one to break the line, She's a Dragon. Heaps of Fun also handy. Frosty Friday positively ridden, and she's looking for the lead. Corns is in the mix as well, and Negro Amaro has found herself in a perfect position. She's against the rail and gone up into 3rd. Polyphonic, the white body, and Yellow Caps in 5th position. She's racing 3 wide from a deep draw. She's a Dragon, Crystal Glamour. They racing together and just 5 lengths off the leader. Then further back in the field to Princess Verunia. She's also starting to gain a bit of ground. A length further back then to Penny Serenade. That's in the black cap, the yellow body. Persian Rug. Christmas Carols racing midfield. That's about 8 lengths off the leader. Lala's next best. Then further back in the running to Bella Sonata. Juxtapose. Jungle Mist. Alexa's one from last. And finally Negro Amaro. They're about to come off the false rail. 700 metres left to go. Heaps of Fun is the leader. Second place Negro Amaro. She goes towards the far side. Then comes Kwanzaa. Frosty Friday. Polyphonic. They race towards the middle outside. Princess Verunia is next. Then comes Crystal Glamour. Negro Amaro just about level with Heaps of Fun. They get to the final 500 metres. Frosty Friday and Polyphonic are next. Heaps of Fun is farting. She's looking forward to the scrap. Negro Amaro's the grey. Then comes Frosty Friday. Up towards the far side. Bella Sonata's next best. But Heaps of Fun is sticking to her task. Heaps of Fun is the leader. Negro Amaro's in 2nd. Then Frosty Friday. Heaps of Fun is in front. And Heaps of Fun's going to see them off. Heaps of Fun has beaten Negro Amaro. Then came Frosty Friday. She's a Dragon was 4th, and they were followed.
One of the best rides Kamalo ever rode in his life. Went to the front, made it. Negro Amara moved up next door, and he ended up putting them to bed. He knew what horse he had under them.
Negro Amara is a top filly, but she does sort of flatten out. She flatters to deceive.
Yeah,
she comes to, and even when Arthur rode her a few times, very good filly.
Yeah.
Juxtaposed Group 1 winner.
Yeah.
And Persian Rug. Spare thought for Persian Rug. Should have won a Group 1 here when it jumped the shadow.
Yeah.
And but well done to Sean Terry and, of course, Kamala and all the owners.
Well, that's Saturday. That's what we've got coming up this weekend. We've got the first leg of all the Triple Crowns and some very good racing on Saturday at Turfentine. Don't miss out on that. Let's go and have a look at the plum of the week.
Astor starts to creep closer. Zudves sees them all with 300 metres left to go. Captain Alfredo in front. Brutal Force starts to drop alongside of him. Then comes Rodney and Line Break taking off together. We're into the final 150. Captain Alfredo, Brutal Force, he's coming home full of running on the inside. And Brutal Force takes the lead close to home. Brutal Force goes on to win it. Captain Alfredo second. Then came Rodney, Line Break, Astor, Zudves.
Well, when you looked at the weekend racing, Brutal Force stood out like a sore thumb. He was merit rated to win this pinnacle place. Anton Marcus jumped up aboard him, and we'll be seeing a little later how good Anton Marcus is, but he got the best out of this horse. Even money 11 to 10 on Interbet was a bet.
It was a good bet, yeah.
About this horse. This is a top
He's
sprinter.
a top horse, back to his best, not a big field. And
looked like the right race.
Yeah, Joey got his team ticking over nicely. And Arthur, I think he won his first 3 and he ran third or something in his 4th ride. A great day for Arthur.
Yeah. Well done to them, and well done to you, Interbet players, for getting on Brutal Force. Let's go and have a look at current affairs.
Soccer and you play the tote, you won't believe what Interbet has to offer you, or the excitement of tote betting on your computer or your cell phone. It's simple. Choose your teams and your bets, work out what your combinations will cost, see how big the pool is, and place your bets. You can even track your bet live as it happens and get updates on your progress. It's all the fun of the tote on your phone. So what are you waiting for? Sign up now at www.interbet.co.za and you could be a winner.
Well, the Bloodstock South Africa graduate of the week, and this is a good one. You could have bought for 60,000 Rand at the Emperor's Palace National 2-year-old National Yearling Sale. He's a grad of the week, Royal Armour. He's a son of J. Peg, and he won the Carboneers on Sunday. There was a good race of Carboneers, wasn't it? It was good
he
fun.
Loved the ground. He rallied and won a good race.
Yeah, bred by Waterford Stud, trained by Lazarne Forbes, up-and-coming young trainer in KwaZulu-Natal, and he's now won 7 for the Pinars. He's by former Equus champion J. Peg, and it just shows you he's out of a Fort Wood mare. She was a 3-time winner, and that's you could have got in the National Yearling Sales, and we've got sales coming up, so we're going to be talking to Michael Holmes about the sales.
Yeah, I'll sure look about the sales.
Yeah. But we've had a bit of racing this week, and we certainly had, last week we had the Tommy Hotspur, which we were unfortunately unable to get you. So we're going to show you the last 600 and chat about that. Let's kick off with that.
The right-hand side. African Rulers lagging about 3.5 lengths off them. Doing it for Dan towards the back end. Highway Explorer and Splendid God on the inside. Queen Laurie's going great guns in front. Tears away by 2. Wrecking Ball tries to get a bit closer. Percival and Pure Blonde towards the outside. Dollar Dazzler. Highway Explorer tries to get a bit closer. African Ruler coming to the last 200 meters, and here comes Wrecking Ball with a big challenge. Wrecking Ball, Dollar Dazzler's on the outside. Queen Laurie still right there over the last 100. Wrecking Ball now powers into the lead. Dollar Dazzler's coming with a sustained run and flying on the outside. Just too late. Wrecking Ball, I think, just held on from Dollar Dazzler.
Well, a very good race for Grant Maroon, and he had first and third in this race, both by the stallion Great Britain. And James, good boost for the stallion.
Certainly, he's producing a lot of horses that are fast horses, and Highlands got him. I think that he could end up being a nice sprinting stallion. Nice for Jared Penny. He picked up the ride, and I think he rode this race winner last year. This time, or he certainly rode a big race winner last year. Was his first big race winner. And good luck to him, and certainly Grant Maroon. Well done, Grant. He's one of Buddy Maroon's proteges, and certainly knows how to train a horse, Grant.
Yeah,
well
no doubt about it. First and third there, they ran very well. Dollar Dazzler, cracking run, came home late with Waishong.
Yeah.
So a good race.
Anyway, last week we got that one in for you guys, and all the moans and groans that we had. But there you go. We do make a plan and get it up and running. We're going to go and have a look at the big race in Cape Town. It was the big day, Vasco Day.
A great day. You know, Vasco's, whenever I go to Cape Town, I go to Vasco's. Great food.
Everyone goes there.
Everyone goes to Vasco's.
Vasco's
is the place in Cape Town.
You can meet up with Biff as well, you know. He might make you a steak.
Who's Biff? Oh, Biff the cricketer.
Biff Smith.
Yeah, Biff Smith. Yeah, Biff's there. You know, Bryn's there a lot too. You know, the Marshal. They're all down. It's a great pub, and they've done well. This is a great day's racing. Watching. Did you see the guys getting tucking at those prawns?
Prawn festival. They had a wonderful time.
The guys, it was fantastic. Really looked a good day. And well done to Bryn
for the day.
What's that?
Well, I'm allergic to prawns. I've died by went there for the day.
Yeah, well, you just stay off the prawns. Just eat the chips and the tomato sauce, Jim.
Yeah, good
yeah, but it's a great day, and it's a great race. It sort of ends the season down there, Jimbo, and. This field I thought had a lot of merit. You know, I've contested, I've had horses run in this race before to close off your season, but I think the winner's a very good filly.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's go and pick her up going through the 600.
On her right side, a length and a half to Angled. 2 lengths away comes Beach Goddess. Then comes Good Time Gelback, one from last, and A Time to Dream is racing at the end of a stretched out field. 16 lengths first to last as heads turn for home in the Vasco Breeder Cup with just on 600 metres left to go. Captain's Flame will bring the field for home. Looks like they once again all making a beeline for the outside running rail. Miss Marker racing in second, and Just Sensual is still under the hands with the yellow cap, and Anton Marcus is now being given a header towards the inside. Then we find Silver Mountain. She's also starting to lift as they enter the final 300. Captain's Flame, Just Sensual, Silver Mountain is along there inside. Then comes Miss Marker up the outside. We got Gimme 6. It's Just Sensual and Captain's Flame. These two left to fight it out, but Just Sensual is now claiming the advantage, and Just Sensual shows her class. Just Sensual beats Captain's Flame. Gimme 6 in third, A Time to Dream in fourth.
There we go, and this Dynasty, Just Sensual, is a beautifully bred horse, and James, she's shown she's got a lot of ability, and when her last time I've taken a bit of gloss off her, the William Longsword run, but she's top draw.
Absolutely, she won this as she liked. She certainly looked like the right horse, and she's a very good filly. I'm going to be.
She has to go further, James. Eh?
I would think so. Yeah, there's no doubt about Dynasty. I would think that the Willavington would be a mission down here for the KwaZulu-Natal season.
Yeah,
and she's really a very, very good filly indeed. And she's out of interestingly enough, she's out of a Camden Park mare.
Yes,
that's at APA Indy line. You know, that's. Where that comes
Camden
from.
Park was JPEG's father, right?
Yep, yeah, absolutely.
So James, this is a good filly. The runner-up's a good filly, the Captain L.
I thought she ran a cracking good race, yeah. She's a very, very nice filly as well. That stable's in very good form at the moment.
Yeah.
They stepped out a nice Karari that won yesterday at Scottsville. So, they're winning both KwaZulu-Natal and the Cape. That looks like the business as far as that's concerned. Let's go and see what we got overseas.
What's the news? Now, James, there's interesting news coming from all over, and I'm going to pick your brain, but let's start with arguably the best horse in the world at the moment. A lot of people say is Winx.
Yeah. She won the Chipping Norton.
Yeah.
Made it her 15th win in a row, 10th Group 1. And
By Street Cry, fantastic stallion, got pedigree, got everything. I hope they venture offshore.
Well, they nearly didn't run her because the ground was too soft. It was very heavy going at Randwick. She ended up winning it. And the interesting thing is Hugh Bowman got on the plane straight after the race and went to Hong Kong to ride Verta in the big race of Hong Kong.
That's a very good horse.
Yeah. Well, he's by Tavistock, who's a new emerging stallion in New Zealand.
Yeah.
And he won this race, the Hong Kong, the Gold Vase, and he's on track for the Dubai Turf. So that's where he's going.
Good, keep an eye out for Vertier. So Hugh Bowman won as much money as you and I make in a year.
Yeah.
In
a
one
year,
plane trip, yeah.
In all our life.
Just put it all together,
Okay.
yeah.
Well, there you go. Anyway.
How about your mate Barry Geraghty? He's a tough sod.
Well, he's got to be the toughest man around. He had a fall. They took him to hospital with suspected bruised ribs or whatever. 6 broken ribs and a punctured lung.
Wow.
Okay, yeah. And
he wanted to carry on.
He got up and walked off, yeah. 6 broken ribs and a punctured lung. And unfortunately, because of that, he's going to miss Cheltenham. And you know, he was JP McManus's #1 jockey. Big blow for them, I can tell you. Big blow. Another jockey that had a fall was George Baker, had a fall in St. Moritz. You know, we're talking about the ice racing.
Yes, ice racing. And that must be dangerous.
Well, I was watching a very interesting program on CNN. Between sort of 8 o'clock at night, they show a program on racing around the world, and they showed this ice racing. And he had a fall. Unfortunately, he's okay. They've cancelled the rest of the meeting because apparently under the ice, there was a pocket of water and the ice broke where the horse put his leg in.
That can never be good.
And that's
Do you know George Baker? Interesting guy. Good jockey. There's a trainer.
He was a guitarist or something, George Baker. Didn't
no,
he?
that was Ginger, who was a drummer. Ginger was a drummer. Get it right. I thought you knew Muso. What happened in Roodepoort where you grew up?
I know nothing.
George Baker.
Yeah.
There's a trainer called George Baker.
Yeah.
And there's a horse called?
George Baker.
Yep, George Baker was trained by George Baker and was one.
It's a famous name. It's like Michael Holmes. I looked him up on internet.
Yes, Holmes. Holmes is famous.
There's all types
CNN,
of people.
CNN presenter.
There's a guy who's in jail for life looking for clemency, Michael Holmes as well.
Yeah, that's
I hope we got the right one.
We got one of them. I think, no, he's honourable, but the other two are suspect. Okay, now what about jockeys? Staying with jockeys, your favourite topic, Thierry Jeannet.
Yeah, he called it a day, 49 years old.
Great rider.
Was a great rider, won 2 Arcs on Treve. He's famous for his first big race was when he won the 2,000 guineas on Pennicamp for Andre Fabre.
Yeah,
1995 I think that was, but he's called it a day. I'm just talking about horses and jockeys and whatever. Christophe went to ride in. He's gone to ride in St. Moritz, but he rode for Mike de Kock on Thursday. And Mubtahij, Mike's thrilled with him. Unfortunately, I couldn't get hold of Mike today. I think that he's in Australia for the sale. Might easily be there. Anyway, Suyuf won a very nice race. He ran 1st and 3rd in that race, Mike. So the horses are ticking along nicely, and hopefully we can get to chat to them.
Yeah, no, we will get it because it's building up. It's the Super Saturday, and then of course we've got the World Cup, and Mike's horses are ticking over nicely. Just talking about an 81-year-old, how's Ken Ramsey, James?
Ken Ramsey's a star. He's taking 2 horses to Barbados for the Barbados Gold Cup. Okay, and he's been there before. He's won it twice before, and he says he'll win it again if Coolmore don't take their first string. He says that Coolmore have got better horses than him.
James, that's Barbados is where I know people like JP McManus have got holiday homes. Probably the Coolmore gang have got places there. So there's every chance Coolmore will step out a horse.
Oh, yeah, well, this guy, he says he loves going there because he's treated like a celebrity. As he walks into the airport, there's a big picture of him and his winner of one of these Barbados Gold Cups with Patrick Husbands aboard. And Patrick Husbands is his stable jockey. He's a Canadian champion. And he gets a choice, he says. Okay. But he says he wants to win the 3rd Gold Cup because he's got one on either side of the mantelpiece. He wants to put one in the middle of the mantelpiece.
81 years old.
He says he's treated like a celebrity there. He's cutting back on his horses, but he's got 2 horses getting ready for Royal Ascot, which he's very excited about with Wesley Ward. So keep an eye on Ken Ramsey, Wesley Ward.
Good man to know.
Finishing off, there was front page news on the Sommerfeld stench, the EnviroServe landfill. Big problem there, Lap. I think that hopefully it gets sorted out.
You know, it goes back a bit. You know, before Roy went overseas, Roy Wall, my assistant, his degree is in environmental science. That's what he does degree in. He's called them in. 2 guys came and spoke to him and said, no, they're sorting it out. And then now Hillcrest, Kloof, and everybody getting involved. And it's certainly not good for the area. Something has to be done.
When there's a cloud covering, it really does get to you, and because it seems to sit underneath the cloud covering. And I know that there have been people working on this for quite some time. Hopefully they get it sorted
Tony
out.
Rivelin's taken water samples and done them, and they're fine.
I think our waters comes from up at the top of the hill.
Checked.
I'm worried about the air. But anyway, listen, we're carrying on like normal, and hopefully we don't have to wear masks like the Japanese. Can you imagine us walking around there like that?
I've already got a balaclava on. What will I look like with a mask?
Well, you'd look like you're a balaclava mask hitman.
Zorro.
That's it. We're going to be back with Michael Holmes. We hope you enjoy the rest of it. Right, well, every now and again we get someone in our studio who's of vital, important interest and who's got a lot to tell us. And most people haven't got a lot to tell us. But Michael Holmes is a different kettle of fish. He's been around the block in the racing industry forever. And certainly as long as I've been coming to Durban, I've known him and known that he's got some sort of interest in the whole thing. But I think it all started, Michael, with Chris Smith.
Yeah, James. Firstly, thanks for having me. Great honour to be with you here today.
No, but we're honoured.
No. We're equally honoured.
Okay.
So you're quite right, James. I did an honours degree at the University of Natal, and I did honours in marketing. And I did a thesis on the marketing of horse racing. So I went to chat to Chris, and I started working as a young student with him, and doing all the running around, all the chores. And from there, grew. I stayed on with him after I graduated, and he did the TBA in those days bought out his sales business, and then I continued with what was the TBA sales. I ran the Durban office, and then they decided that they didn't need a Durban office, so I started Michael Holmes Bloodstock, and that we successfully ran that for a number of years, 20 years in total. And as you know, at the moment, myself, Chris Haynes and Gary Grant have a management contract with Bloodstock South Africa in terms of looking after Bloodstock South Africa's auction sale program. So it's a big long circle, but we're back in the same circle.
Full circle. How was, just talking about Chris, because he was a legend, you know, we don't often get to speak to someone who worked with him. How was he to work with? He was innovative, wasn't he, to say the least?
He was brilliant, you know, as a young guy, certainly had my eyes open quickly. But he was really good. He had this sort of marketing philosophy where racing was fun. Yeah. You'd buy the horse, but you'd have a great day at the races. And I can remember in those days, Wednesdays, full box at Greyville, owners looking after them, same as a Saturday, putting on a full spread for them. And those owners kept coming back, you know. You just have to cast your mind back to the owners that he started with, Peter Darkins, Giel de Wet, those kind of guys, you know. The trainers that trained for them are still around, but them as owners, they've unfortunately passed on, but great people.
Yeah, and he started buying horses overseas. I know that he bought, I think, Sonera overseas, and he was involved with a lot of horses and worldwide. Yeah. New Zealand was a big place he went to?
You're right. New Zealand was... he started the New Zealand business before I got involved with him. But the gate crashes of this world, all those horses, and you know, as I said to you, I wasn't involved, but you know, he told me those horses used to come over by ship. So yeah, he you know, the sort of, as you know, the time zone, he used to do the New Zealand business in the afternoon from the office, all on a hard landline, and it's far cry from what's happening today. I mean, you chatted earlier about sending Mike de Kock a WhatsApp. I mean, there were no WhatsApp in those days. Texts, teletexts, it was a lot different out there.
Just talking about Christmas and the industry, surely the industry should start honouring people like this, you know, who have really gave their life to this industry and made a big difference to this industry. Isn't it time that this happened?
Oh, James, I think that's a very good point. I mean, you know, Chris is obviously dear to both of us, but there are a lot of other people out there who have made tremendous contributions to the industry. So I think that's a very good point of yours, and I think we'll definitely run with it. I mean, if you look just from what the revenue that was generated in the sales ring, it's was substantial.
And you know, I know that he was very close to Herman Brown. I think Turncoat was one of the horses that he purchased.
Turncoat, Robert Sangster.
Yeah, Robert Sangster bought into this country. Do you remember when Sangster arrived here?
Yeah.
It was like Christmas had arrived.
He was at the forefront of marketing in those days. Robert Sangster used to race in partnership with all the leading South African owners, and it certainly was a reason for local people to get involved in stables and in horses.
And you sort of said, well, you got involved in Michael Holmes' bloodstock and you started your own bloodstock business. It's been a very successful road for you as far as bloodstock's concerned, because those sales that you conduct, I think, vitally necessary. Certainly that Shongweni sale in February, where people are able to move horses to other centres. How do you come about that?
Well, that used to be a Chris Smith bloodstock sale. And it is the bottom end of the market sale, but as you say, it's vitally necessary. It turns horses over, turns them through people's yards, and gives other equestrian disciplines a chance to acquire horses to carry on with. I mean, as you know, from the last week's Shongweni sale, there were numerous polo players, polo cross, and then there were the international buyers, the Mauritians, the Zimbabweans, the Kenyans. So it is fulfilling a role.
And the bloodstock market does seem to be in a bit of a depressed state at the moment here, but you're still able to pass horses through the ring and sell them.
Yeah, look, it is a little bit depressed. If you take the quality of horse that was there, probably the prices were a reflection of the quality that was on sale. But just going back a step, you know, if you go back, because in the older times when that sale originated, there were certainly very tight limits on the number of boxes that trainers could have. Hence the necessity for that sale. You know, the Kimberley, in those days you had Kimberley and Bloemfontein that were all picking up the horses. But
yeah, it's certainly been a sale that we've liked being part of and enjoying it. It's an enjoyable day at the sale, although last week's was a bit waterlogged. There's a bit of rain around, wasn't there? But a nightmare for you guys to actually run an event with so much rain.
Yeah, James, listen, one day of hardship for rain was worth it for the rest of the country in terms of where we are with droughts and that sort of thing. So sloshing around there afterwards while you'd gone home, sitting on the couch with a remote in your hand with a glass of whiskey. You know, I was still there in the trenches, but it was a small hardship that I was happy to take.
At least you got paid for it. So. That's a type of situation, which is a perennial problem with sales. And just talking about it, you know, I think that every sales company worldwide has problems with getting money in.
Yeah. James, unfortunately, it's part of the industry that we're in, and I'm not quite sure how that originated, because if you go off and buy a truck at another auction, you put your money up front and you pay. But it is what it is.
Yeah.
We've just got to make the best of it and do the collections as speedily and as efficiently as possible.
And that's certainly one of the things that Bloodstock South Africa have worked on very strenuously to try and get their collection sorted out, because that seemed to be a bit of a chink in the armour.
Yeah, thanks for that, James. As you know, I have phoned you as well, myself, and we all chat about...
I've been phoned all my life. 40 years I've been having phone calls. But
that's the nature of the beast.
Yeah.
You've got to get down, you've got to be personally involved and say... And we've managed to bring our collection rate down to better than 90% 30 days post-sale.
Which is, that's a phenomenal achievement, because I can tell you, I know worldwide, and obviously I've dealt worldwide as sales companies, there's some sales companies that have ways in place to help the pinhookers. You know, they give them special deals and this type of thing. Are you guys ever looked at that? Because we've talked to Bloodstock South Africa about those type of things. Pinhookers are a variable part of this industry, and I think very important part of the industry.
James, we out there to do business. If anyone wants to come and chat to us, we can structure something, we can look after them.
I'm sure you will. Now, just talking about the other side of your business, because obviously this marketing business of yours led you to putting up tents, and you're very good at doing that.
Yeah, well, it was actually quite strange how that occurred, because when I was with the Chris Smith and the Thoroughbred Breeders Association, I used to do all the infrastructure, set the sales up, and then I was approached by another group of business guys who wanted to start up an eventing, infrastructural kind of business. So that sort of grew out of the experience that I'd gained in the auction sale arena.
Well, now if you look at your website, Event World, you do tents all over the place. I know that you do a lot of tents up in up north in Natal for big events that they have there. You're involved with a lot of people in this business.
Yeah, James, it's a business that we worked hard on for 25 years. We've been at it, so we're fortunate. We do have a very good client base, and yeah, we service those clients. I've got a very good team behind me. So thanks for telling me that I do all the work, but I actually don't do all the work. I've got a top team behind me. I've actually increased.
Shirley will be pleased to hear that, you know, because
yeah, Shirley will be. But I've got Edwina, I've got Nelly, I've got Greg.
Edwina's been there a long time too.
She's a star. Greg's just joined us. Obviously, I've got a lot of focus now on Bloodstock South Africa. So Edwina's been with me forever. She knows the business backwards probably better than I know it, because as you know, the older you get, you don't get smart. The less you remember. But yeah, so that team's in place there. They look after all the customers. They've got great relationships with them. And yeah, for me, it's actually more of an advisory role now. And they're just servicing those clients and growing the businesses that we've got.
Well, I must say at this point that you've built the Durban July tent city from nothing to an absolutely unbelievable experience. And I'll be there, I go and talk in those tents. Those tents are beautifully set up. I actually don't know how you can do that.
Thanks, James. We call it the Vodacom Durban July.
Yeah.
So we like to give our sponsors that.
But the point is that before that it was some other July.
Yes.
Okay. So, and I think you started with other sponsors. You
didn't
start with
100%
Vodacom,
correct.
did you?
We started
in
the days of Rothmans.
Doing it. Okay.
We started in the days of Rothmans.
Yeah.
In those days, Wayne Simpson was at Greyville.
Yeah. He's back again.
He's back, but he gave us a nice site on top of the silver ring roof where no one else wanted to do anything. So we went up there for the first year. Got a tornado on the Sunday after the July. Fetched all our tents off the grass in front of the offices at the 400-meter mark, which was great. And yeah, we paid our school fees up front really early, and it has grown. You know, it's grown into an event that is representative of the entire South Africa. And in terms of our hospitality offerings where we're involved in other sports, there is no other uptake like this event. And so whilst I appreciate the praises that you've given us, it's also due to a bigger team that's out there that is keeping this event at the forefront of people's desires to be there. So in terms of a racing event, it's unique.
It is absolutely unique, and I think lots of people have tried to do it, but hats off to you guys. We're going to take a little break, and we'll be back with Bloodstock South Africa news. Let's go and see what we've got from Magic Millions. We had a winner, Handsome Henry, won Turfentine, and he was Henry the Navigator. He cost $180,000 at the Magic Millions sale. Let's go back to seeing what Michael's got to say. Right, well, the story is like this. Bloodstock South Africa have gone through a metamorphosis, and unfortunately this is our last show with them as a sponsor, but they've been phenomenal to have on board. They've given us lots of ideas and input and whatever. And obviously the sales arena is where they do their business. And we start off with a sale that I've been calling the Val de Vie sale, but it's not the Val de Vie sale, Michael, in the middle of March. It's Mystico. Where's Mystico?
Well, James, it's actually called the Cape Yearling Sale.
Okay, let's get that right. We've got a picture of it here.
Yeah.
Let's pick it up. Cape Yearling Sale.
Correct.
Yeah.
So it is happening in the Cape, as you would
Yeah.
imagine.
Yeah.
It's happening at a Mystico Equestrian Estate,
Yeah.
which is between Paarl and Durbanville. Unbelievable facility. I'd really like you to come out there and see it.
I will be there. You know me, I'll always arrive at a sale.
100%.
Now knowing that I can get extended credit terms, I'll be there like a flash.
We're looking forward to seeing you there. So Mark Wall is the owner, Mark and his wife Gail.
Yeah.
They built this equestrian estate. It's state of the art. He's got 2 indoor arenas. He's building a 3rd arena, 240 boxes for visiting shows, plus another 110 permanent stablers there. It's the old Steadfast stud.
Well, I know exactly where
You,
that is.
exactly.
Yeah.
I had to go back in time.
Dulcie and Dudley Van Zyl. Yeah.
Correct, correct.
And they've built there. Have
They've
they?
built there.
It was a beautiful place. I had mares there. I always supported them. They're great friends of ours, the Van Zyls. You know, I know that they've retired long gone, but they were great people in racing, and it's easy to get to. You just go along the M2, I think it's called, north, and before you get to Paarl, you turn off to the left, don't you?
Correct.
And you're right there.
On the
So it's
312, correct.
very easy to
find.
get there. These people are Walls. How did you come across them? Where are they from?
Mark's been in racing and has had a mare, but their primary focus initially was show jumping, dressage events.
Yeah.
Monty Roberts has actually done a show in one of the in the arena that we're going to be doing the yearling sale in.
Okay.
Magnificent facility, as I said to you before. And the 3rd arena that's presently being built there is 120 meters by 60 meters wide. So it's as big as a rugby field, under a curved roof.
That's amazing.
Amazing.
So have you signed up a contract with these guys? Are you going to do it long term there?
Yes.
Is this going to be your
That's
home?
going to be our Cape sales base, James.
Because Val de Vie was your place, and that was the most beautiful place.
Yes.
You know, that polo ground was just absolutely
But
fabulous.
logistically, it did have a couple of challenges,
Yeah.
whereas Mystico's...
Well, you've got the stables, which is a huge...
We've got the stables there, correct. We've got indoor facility where we were doing the sale. The arena is 40 meters by 86 meters, so it's
plenty of
just what you need.
Yeah, plenty of place to put grandstands for people to sit on, and seating areas, and food and beverages and whatever.
Yep.
Let's have a look at the catalogue.
Yeah.
You've got some nice entries.
Some great entries. Fortunately, we've had great support from the Cape breeders, which I thank them from. We've got a good cross-section of sires and vendors, James.
Well, you've got Maritzfontein, who are always big and worth having there, and Wilgerbos Drift, obviously. So they've got some very nice lots, and they're the backbone of your sale. And then the usual suspects, Mouton's Hook, Fastfontein, they've always got horses there.
Fastfontein have got an unbelievable record. If you look at, you can see gold standard on the cover of the catalogue, and that's from the first Val de Vie sale.
Yes.
And the rest of the graduates are all there. You know, you go through it, you've got Hack Green. So...
And after, obviously, new stallions, you've got Master of My Fate. I see he stepped up to the plate, so he's got... and then,
well represented.
And then you've got a whole lot of the ones that really look like they're doing the business. Give Me the Green Lights, and, you know, these young stallions, What a Winter.
What a Winter.
Yeah.
Nice draft of What a Winter's there.
A horse like Sal from Seattle, he's really started to produce. How's it? Is it a 2-day sale?
No, it's just a 1-day sale, James. It's 142 lots in the catalogue.
And I see you've got the usual suspects, Hawkins and Miller, stepping
we've got the boys up there at the rostrum.
Yeah.
So it's going to be a great day out, James. I would encourage you to bring all your friends, because I know you've got a lot of mates in Cape Town. Bring them out. They'll have an unbelievable day.
Yeah, I'll bring all my Chinas there. Can we get something to eat? And
you can get something to eat.
Okay, let's go through the logistics, because obviously people would like to come to the sale. There might be people out there who are watching the show who would like to get in touch with someone, because we used to get hold of Betty Moffat or someone at the TBA, and get it organized. It doesn't work like that anymore, does it?
It doesn't work because Betty's not involved. We've got a team. We've got Ashley de Klerk. As you know, she's.
But I know that, but no one else knows that. Okay, so let's get this out on in the public forum. Okay, so that's what we're here for.
Yeah, I know we are. But I would urge you to read some of the emails that we do send out as correspondence.
Yeah.
So all of that information has been out there, but obviously
only sending them to me though. That's a problem.
No, we do send them to you.
There are a lot of people watch your show that you don't know about. Okay. That might like to know how to get hold of you.
Okay,
so now we're
giving you a forum, and let's make the most of that, which we appreciate. So we've got a team, Ashley de Klerk.
Yeah.
We've got Heather
now,
Moore.
Ashley's an interesting person because she is Koos de Klerk's daughter.
Correct.
Yeah.
Koos and Lorraine's daughter.
Yeah. So she's a yellow star stud, born and bred in the business.
100%.
She's helped in all types of bloodstock things. I know that she did a bit of work in Australia for some of them there.
Yes.
She knows what's going on.
No, she knows what's going on. She's the interface, one of the interfaces between the vendors and the buyers.
Yeah.
And then Heather Morkel's recently joined us. Heather, old Summerhill stalwart.
Yeah.
Been trained by the best.
No, she ran that business. I tell you what, I don't know how Mickey's going to carry on without her. I suppose he's got the School of Excellence. Yes. So there will be someone.
There's always someone coming through. Yeah. We are fortunate. Heather's focuses now not so much on being involved on a full-time basis in the Moy River area. She's down. She comes to Durban once a week, works with us, and we're using every bit of experience that she's got to enhance our product offering and the buyer and vendor experience at our sales.
Okay, so if you want to come and stay down in Cape Town for a day or two and organize flights and whatever, do you get hold of Heather or do you get hold of Ashley? And obviously, where do we get hold of them? Because are they in the Equine Group's office?
Correct. That's where Ashley is there.
Okay.
She's in those offices. You can get hold of her. She's available. You can get hold of myself. You can get hold of any one of our team.
You can get hold of Gary Grant, Chris Haynes.
We'll be there to help. Okay. So we'll put you in touch with the right person.
Yeah. So Equine basically are now on a contract basis running the TBA's business.
Correct. Myself, Chris and Gary have a management contract with Bloodstock South Africa to run the auction sales.
Okay, and now you've got Ashley and Heather involved in it. And as far as buyers' cards and all those type of things are concerned, Equine, the people to talk to. Those of you who don't know Equine, and there should be no one that doesn't know it, if you look on the back of your catalogue, you'll see the Equine Group, and I'm sure you can see that. There's three good-looking people there. They're the Equine Group. We'll get them up on the catalogue now. There you go. That would take...
the most recent photo, I've got to be saying.
Anyway, they're the people that run Bloodstock South Africa's marketing side of it. And obviously, this is the first of many sales during the year.
Correct.
What do we look forward to after that, Michael?
Well, obviously, we go to the National Yearling Sale.
Which is big.
How
many entries this year? 500 odd?
Correct. Just short of, we got on 661 entries. Yeah. We're just finalising the final selections and going to print,
Yeah, and that's April, end of April, beginning of May, isn't it? The first week in May.
Yep.
And then we go to Sabaya. Is it Sabaya or is it Suncoast?
No, it's definitely Sabaya.
Okay. Because it's been around.
Yes, it has, and historically it has moved around a little bit, but...
great sale, Durban, July time.
Great sale. Sabaya also building a massive structure out there, permanent structure, which we'll be using.
Okay.
Does come with its challenges, as you know. You're putting horse boxes in tarred car parks, so
But it's a lovely sale.
But it's great.
Good horses come off.
Good horses come there. Yeah. Nice warm climate for the horses.
Yeah.
So
and then obviously you have the 2-year-old sale, which is a biggie.
2-year-old sale, which will be mid August.
Yeah. So, and then from there, anything else?
Yeah, we've got the odd horses in training sale interspersed with that. We've got broodmare sales, so it's a full program.
Okay, so we can go onto the Bloodstock South Africa website.
Correct.
BSA website.
Yeah.
And find out everything that's going on.
Everything you need to know there. And if you still need to know something,
get hold of one of you guys.
One of us. They're ready for the call.
Well, all I can say is they couldn't have found a better team to run the show. They've had some good teams in the past, but you boys look like the A team, as they call. They like to call people like you guys the A team. Would you like a name like that?
Not quite sure how I fit into that old A team. Are you Baracus? I didn't see anyone who looks like Baracus in our team.
No, but the A team is the A team.
Okay. Thanks for that, James. I appreciate that. Obviously, experience does count for a lot, but also a desire and a drive to put something back. As you said, we've been in this game a while, and there's a challenge out there. The business needs to be turned around and to be positioned correctly and to give our customers, both vendors and buyers, a great sales experience.
Well, I'm very pleased you guys are involved, and thank you so much for coming and spending some time with us and chatting about the sales. And as we say, if you'd like to go and buy yourself a racehorse, there's no better place to start than down at Mystico in the Cape in the middle of March. You go down there and get yourself there. Get hold of the Equine Group. They'll look after you. Michael, thank you so much for joining us.
James, always a pleasure. Great to have the banter. Look forward to taking your money on the golf course.
Well, that's never happened, so you don't have to worry. Don't worry about that. The money is staying safe with me. But anyway, as long as he's got the driver that I gave him 15 years ago, he's got no chance because that hits the ball all over the place. Until next week, where we'll have a brand new show for you, you have a great week's racing.
Your world of winners is now online at www.teletrack.com. Simply subscribe to log into your account from any mobile device in South Africa and access a wide variety of content from our membership package options. Listen in via a live audio stream, catch live racing locally and internationally, or view a wide variety of Teletrack magazine shows to stay informed and updated on the go at any time. It's never been easier. Go to teletrack.com now.